Just in, Nancy Pelosi just revealed her newest position, a $1 million bet on the cybersecurity company Palo Alto Networks.
We told people to buy the weakness in Palo Alto because the disappointing quarter had nothing to do with demand. If anything, there was too much of it. Now Palo Alto's up big from its post-quarter lows. Why? Well, one reason might be because United Healthcare's Optum business got hacked.
How is Nancy Pelosi looped into all of this insanity with United Healthcare? Well, it actually goes pretty deep, and she is only one piece of the puzzle. The assassination of the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, has raised a lot of questions. Why did this happen? What motivation did this killer have? If he was working for someone, who put out the hit? We know how corrupt the healthcare industry is. We know that they have secrets. So I can't help but suspect that this CEO was a liability of some kind. Maybe he knew too much. Maybe there's something that United Health doesn't want people to know. So we're going to do a deep dive, if you will, into some of the history leading up to this tragic event, as well as to examine some of the strangeness we've seen involving this assassin. We'll start with what I think was alarming, although not unusual for a big corporation like United Healthcare. They were getting investigated by the DOJ because of a cyber attack on the company and potential violation of antitrust laws. Thompson, who was killed in what police called a targeted shooting outside the Hilton Hotel in Midtown, exercised stock options and sold shares worth $15 million on February 16th, less than 2 weeks before news of the federal antitrust probe went public. So here we have a security cam photo of the suspected killer, which the NYPD still hasn't tracked down. We're going to get into that a little bit later. But, you know, a DOJ probe into a big corporation like United Healthcare or Pfizer or really any big company is nothing unusual. They're subject to these types of probes all the time involving stocks. And actually, a cyber attack on healthcare insurance providers, companies, these are very, very common. But what got my attention was what this cyber attack coincided with right on the same day. The American Hospital Association calls the suspected ransomware attack on Change Healthcare, a unit of insurance giant United Health Group's Optum division, the most significant and consequential incident of its kind against the U.S. healthcare system in history. Now, like I said, ransomware and cyber attacks are in fact very common, but it just so happens that Brian Thompson was set to testify in front of Congress, and maybe someone didn't want that information getting out. He was also on his way to an investor conference on that same day. So he was getting ready to talk. And, you know, in this crime world, nobody likes a rat. So here's where it gets interesting. On February 21st, the same day of this cybersecurity breach, Nancy Pelosi made a huge purchase, somewhere between 100 to 250 grand, of call options in Palo Alto Networks, the same company that launched an investigation into this cyber attack. Their stocks went up, and Pelosi was making big, big money while all of this was going down. So you have a top health insurance CEO and one of the most corrupt politicians in history, Nancy Pelosi, who have both benefited from insider trading, and now they are suddenly in the spotlight following the cyber attack and later the assassination. I'm sure it's all just a big coincidence, right? It's also probably just a coincidence that on his way to United Health's annual investor conference in New York, the million-dollar question, what was he going to reveal? Something about Nancy Pelosi's illicit activity involving insider trading, perhaps? Was this another Epstein suicide? I'd like to point out that United Health's largest shareholders are BlackRock and Vanguard. Just like the rest of Big Pharma, it's also worth noting that since the election, several executives in Big Pharma have resigned. the CFO of Humana, another health insurance company, Susan Diamond, stepped down. The CEO of Moderna stepped down, as well as the CEO of Walgreens Village MD, Tim Barry. So this is all happening during the Trump transition, and once Trump gets into office, a reckoning is coming for everyone in big tech, in DC, in healthcare, the military, everywhere in the government. This also comes at the same time that Biden is weighing preemptive pardons for people like Adam Schiff, Liz Cheney, and Dr. Fauci. So with Trump getting in and with RFK in charge of the HHS, there are powerful, corrupt individuals who know they will have to pay for their crimes against humanity, like Dr. Fauci, involving COVID, medical malpractice, and malfeasance involving these insurance companies as well. Malfeasance that has resulted in the deaths of thousands of Americans per year. The walls are closing in on these people, and they know their fate rests in the hands of the incoming administration. What I also find strange is the shoddy investigation work by the NYPD in tracking down the killer. You know, first they obtained data from City Bike, then they reported he got on a bus to New Jersey at Port Authority. They had divers going into the pool in Central Park. Some mysterious backpack was found in the park. They got him on camera shooting the CEO with a silencer right out in the open. It doesn't make a lick of sense that they haven't caught this guy, and it would not surprise me that he is highly protected. They are making his escape as easy as possible because there are probably people with the same type of power as BlackRock and Vanguard covering up their tracks for the public eye and the media. This has happened time and time again. It's going to keep happening as we get more and more of these people exposed. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in another video very soon.